Either way, dude. Well, I guess to start it off, honestly, I don't even know how long it's been since we've done one of these videos, you know.
Too long.
If you were to take a wild guess though, when is the last one we did? I don't even know. I really don't. Probably Tommy's fight. If I were to guess, it's probably Tommy's fight.
That's a good guess.
So anyway, we are back, boys. Me and Dill are back. Clean's on the sticks, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited to talk UFC 313. Really excited. But before we get into that, I want to take 2 minutes to just quickly talk about last weekend.
Drop your dubs on the people. The people want the dubs.
Dude, that was awesome. And you guys were both there, right there with me to witness it. I won 16 units on Saturday night. I dropped a unit on Manil Kopp to win by knockout in rounds 3, 4, or 5. And we saw him about to knock him out in the second and went to the third. You all saw what happened. He finished it. So I returned 4.5 units there. Cody Brundage by knockout in round 1 or 2. I mean, everyone's seen it. It's on my TikTok or Instagram if anyone follows. I mean, I got to flex a little bit. I'm excited. Finally, a winning week. No, we're not just making this video and coming back because I won last week. Obviously, we want to do it. Uh, my daughter's 6 months old now already, so I've seemed to have like a little bit more time. We're in a routine where she goes to bed, so we can do this. You know, I want to do this to break down fights. You want to do it, so I'm excited, dude. I know we talked about it last Saturday night when you left, but going forward, if I'm not making a single bet on anybody I don't feel confident on. Like, there's no more messing around with money. Period. Like, if I think a fight's sketchy or I don't really know a side, I'm not even gonna bet it. I'm just gonna walk away from it and enjoy it. So I'm happy with what I did last weekend. Obviously, I didn't win all my bets. I did lose some money. I didn't lose actually. I was up 16 units. But all I'm trying to say is, those 3-leg, 2-leg parlays, I'm finding out are key. And you throw a little prop in there. That's what I'm. This card is really looking tasty on this one. So yeah, dude, last weekend was awesome. I thought the card was awesome, not just because I won, but from an Apex card, it was exciting. Really excited to break down this one. We got UFC 313 in Las Vegas. Obviously, Poatan versus Magomed Ankalaev. And do you want to take this one right away, Dill, or you want me to start with it?
I mean, I'll start. Mine's gonna be pretty quick. I think I'm sticking with the king for now. Poetan is gonna go all 5. It could be one of those kind of tie him up light heavyweight kind of matches. They're just kind of all over because Ankalaev is very patient. We all know how he fights. And
Yeah.
Poetan, he's gonna chew him up with the leg kicks. He's gonna do that. He's gonna try to set up a left hand. We know how he fights. And is Ankalaev gonna be ready for the leg kicks? I don't know. Is that what he's working on right now? Let's hope so, because it'll make him more of an entertaining fight.
Yeah.
And then it depends if he gets the ground game going. And we've never really seen a good ground game by Ankalaev, so I don't think he's going to. So I think Poetan's just gonna chew him up, and I think he's gonna get done inside the distance.
Inside the distance. Okay. Because when you said that, I looked quickly. Alex Pereira, they got the line out, wins by decision, a plus 625.
I could see it happening though too, but
Yeah.
well, what's his money line?
His money line is minus 120. It's damn near pick 'em right now.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic fight, dude. So you're going Poetan.
Yep. Yep.
All
I just
right.
don't think there's anyone in the division that's close to him. I mean, this is the closest guy. He's ranked number 2 for a reason, but yeah, give me
Number
Alex.
one.
Just,
Number one.
well, yeah, number 1. Yeah, right behind Alex.
All right. I guess we're gonna be split right away. I'm taking the Dagestani Magomed Ankalaev. And hear me out, dude. I'm not gonna sit here and just like I just said, I gotta be confident in any bet I take. I'm gonna be taking Ankalaev in a bet that might fuck me in the last fight of the night and spoil everything. With that being said, I already have Pereira in a different one too. So I have certain like 3, 4 leggers, and I did all those 3 legs and then I switched them and Pereira because this fight's gonna be so good. But hear me out. Uh, Alex Pereira, best star they have in the UFC by far right now. Like, where would the UFC be right now without Pereira? Like, this guy saved multiple cards. He's Poatan. He's got the Chama aura. He talks. He's got Nina. She's blown up on you, dude. The guy is super famous. I like him. A lot of people like him. Why? How couldn't you?
He's so
Uh,
active. People love watching him. He's always fighting, and people love people that type of fighter.
yeah, dude. Absolutely. And like I said, I like him. I'm not hating on him. I've bet against him most of his career, unfortunately, other than his last fight, obviously against Khalil Roundtree and stuff. But that's where I'm gonna start. Khalil Roundtree, dog, right? He's better than anyone even thought because he had really bright shining moments in that fight. Where he dropped Alex Pereira. He's pressuring him in the corner. Alex Pereira. I watched the fight today. Alex Pereira. He's very long and lanky, right? But he fights with his hands low, and then he's kind of like Bobby Green. He's always got his hands low and he's moving and bobbing and weaving. I don't know, man. I just if Magomed and Ankalaev, this is the thing. Ifs and wins and buts. There's a lot of that going on. But if Magomed and Ankalaev fights smart, which usually he never does, like the guy's got all the skills in the world. Excuse me, but he fights. He doesn't have a whole lot of fight IQ. Like he fought Jan Blachowicz and got his leg kicked to shit, split decision, split draw or something. Um, he just does. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of urgency. But this is for the title. This is for what he's been going for his whole career. I feel like the UFC doesn't really want him to be the champion because they can't market him as much. So if I'm picking Magomed and Ankalaev, I know I'm everywhere with this, but there's a few things that are playing against you. Like for me, against me because I got Magomed. UFC knows their number one star is Alex Pereira, right? He's the money maker for the UFC right now. They don't want to lose him. So if it's a close fight, they're going to give it to Alex. I just see Magomed Ankalaev possibly chinning him, dude, and shocking the UFC. Like the UFC's already been shocking as hell this all the way till the middle of last year, and then the end when Max Holloway gets put out cold, Volkanovski gets put out cold, all these people, and Justin Gaethje gets put out cold on his face. Like, dude, there's been so much crazy things we didn't even see, coming. But would it be crazy to say Magomed Ankalaev, the number one light heavyweight contender, who's 20-1? Which, by the way, that loss, he was beating the shit out of Paul Craig until 5 seconds in the fight, and he gets armbarred. Magomed, number one contender, knocks out Alex Pereira because Alex Pereira is doing this and leaning back too far with his chin up. I mean, Magomed's got that power, dude. He's Dagestani, that Russian. He's never been chinned before. This fight is really exciting, I think. And a lot of people are saying on Twitter, X, whatever, that Magomed Ankalaev needs to wrestle to win this fight. I don't know if I really agree with that. I think Magomed Ankalaev can box with him, kickbox with him. But then there again, it's Poatan Pereira. All it takes is that left hand. So it's a close line fight for a reason. And hear me out on this too. This is another really good stat line I found. Magomed Ankalaev in all 13 of his UFC fights, he's an average. His lining in Vegas lines average a minus 425 favorite. That's insane, dude. Like,
Mhm.
and he's not dusting everybody. He's beating by unanimous decision and this or that. You when someone's a minus 400 favorite, you really want to see a finish, right? And now finally we got Magomed Ankalaev fighting for the title, and he's a minus 120. That's a number I can get behind. If I lose it, so be it. I was behind a minus 120. I'm really curious though. You got Alex Pereira by knockout minus 130, or excuse me, plus 130. Magomed Ankalaev by knockout plus 350. So I don't know. I think the bookies. I don't know, dude. It's gonna be a fantastic card. Our fight, excuse me. All it takes, Alex's left hook, a couple of those, and a couple. I think he's gonna beat up Magomed's legs, and I think he's gonna beat up the legs for sure. But then I don't know. I think Magomed Ankalaev is gonna adjust to it a little bit. He needs to clinch a little bit. I think he needs to do some wrestling. because I think Magomed Ankalaev's wrestling is better than people think. People think he doesn't have wrestling. It's better than Alex Pereira's. I can tell you that. He's from Dagestan, Russia. He's training that shit every day. So I think it's gonna be a great fight. I'm not gonna invest too much in this fight. I told you I do have a few picks, but I'm not gonna let all my picks ride out on this fight. I'm gonna choose it smartly. But give me the upset. Magomed Ankalaev and new. UFC doesn't like it because Alex is super marketable, but um, he'll probably get a rematch. Oh, last thing I gotta say. Is it a coincidence that Dana White came out of the woodwork like 2 days ago saying that John Jones would be open to fight Alex Pereira? Like, like they're just throwing that out there before his title fight in the light heavyweight division. Like, what if Alex loses in the light heavyweight and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm sick of cutting that much. I'm gonna go fight John Jones at heavyweight and make a shit ton of money, be my last fight, and I'm done."
The script has
So
been written already.
a little, they know what they're doing, dude. It's the UFC, so I don't know. I think we could see Magomed Ankalaev look like the true champion. Because take it back like 5, 8 years ago, dude. Alex Pereira as a light heavyweight champion of the world. I don't know, man. You got DC. DC will pick him up and drop him on his ass and hold him there. You got John Jones in his prime. You got Alexander Gustafsson. You got a lot of good people back then. Nowadays it's still a good division, but who's the best wrestler in the light heavyweight division right now? I'd actually have to think about that. I don't even know. Magomed Ankalaev maybe, but he's not much of a wrestler. So I think Alex Pereira is really good, and he's a great kickboxer and lethal hands. But give me someone like Magomed, who's been trying to get that title shot for years. He's finally getting it, and he is not taking it. You know, he's taking it very seriously. So give me Magomed. Long, main event's the longest I want to break down, but long story. I think it's gonna be a great fight. Don't come at me in the comments saying, "Oh, you picked, Alex Pereira. You think he sucks?" No, I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks him out by left hook in the third or fourth round. You heard it here first, third or fourth round. But I'm gonna go with Magomed. I think Magomed might knock him out. You bet your ass, Dylan. I'm gonna go 3, 4, and 5, just like last week. I think Magomed Ankalaev knocks him out in the third, fourth, or fifth. I think he starts off slow. He's gonna lose the first round. Second round, he's going to make adjustments, look better, and then the third, fourth, and fifth, he walks away with, if not finishes it. That's my breakdown.
I like it.
All right. Like I said, long-winded, but going forward, they won't be all that long. So right off the bat, me and Dylan are separate. I got Magomed new. He's got Alex Pereira. On to the next fight, co-main, which we were looking most forward to. We talked about last Saturday night. You got Justin Gaethje, who was prepared for a 5-round co-main fight against Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker broke his wrist. He had surgery. In steps Rafael Fiziev. And arguably so, totally agree with that. They're going 3 rounds. That's what should happen. So, honestly, dude, I'm so torn on this fight. Like, all I have to say, I'll say kind of short and quick. Like, love Justin Gaethje. If Justin Gaethje didn't get flatline knocked out on his face and sitting there like twitching his arm and stuff and all that, like I'd pick him back to back. I think he's gonna 2-0 Fiziev. And then you got Rafael Fiziev, who hasn't fought in. Let me look here. It's been a while, dude. Rafael Fiziev fought a year and 5 months ago, like, and he kicked Mateus Gamrot, like, and it hit him in the elbow and just snapped his leg. It was brutal. I mean, it's obviously an issue if you haven't fought for a year and 5 months. But then it also makes me think he's taking a short notice fight against Justin the highlight reel Gaethje. Like something there. Rafael Fiziev with that confidence. Like, I'm back. I feel great. 3 rounds against Justin. Maybe he just wants it back. He thinks he can beat him. I don't know, man. This is one where it's a little fishy. I'm gonna make a bet or two, but I'm not investing a lot in it, and I'm gonna stay away for it for that reason. But if I gotta make a pick for the show, give me Justin again. Just gritty, in your face, won't go away. He got knocked out with a second left in a 5-round fight against a quicker, more agile lighter weight Max Holloway, one of the best featherweights of all time. I don't think Fiziev is the best of all time or anything. I think Gaethje still gets it done at 36 years old, but like I said, I'm not going to invest too much into it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just not super confident, just because kind of last minute thrown together. I do like Fiziev. I mean, they fought the first time, and he kind of went and it went the. I think he went the whole distance with Gaethje, and it was a good fight. Like he held his own. And I'm thinking this time maybe he'll get the best on. Like you said, there's something that just tells you there that he's ready for this one this time. Like he's come back, and I think he's just might be a little bit stronger. He just had a birthday, I believe, so I think maybe the Tip Boy will gonna get it done, and then they'll be 1-1, and maybe they come back and try to do a third one. But I think at that point, Gaethje will just be a little too washed. Like you said, love Gaethje. I was really looking forward to the Hooker fight. I thought it was gonna be an absolute bloodbath. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Fiziev. So give me Fiziev.
All right, bro. I don't hate it. I guess it's a great fight. It's a great co-main fight.
I don't like blame anybody for picking either side. Like I should just said inside the distance, like just violence. Like, just give me violence and maybe not go to the cards.
Yeah, like dude, Rafael Fiziev could go to Justin could leg kick him the shit out of his bad leg and his leg is fucked and they call the fight. Like I don't know what no one knows what Rafael Fiziev's knee is in what condition. So I I understand where you're picking Fiziev, but I also can't get behind that too much because he hasn't fought in a year and a half. And Justin Gaethje head kick knocked out Dustin Poirier a year and a half ago, and then he just got brutally knocked out. So it's really hard to sit behind either fighter. So I don't I don't hate your decision with Fiziev. Fiziev's probably got the better chin at this point. Justin's been in major wars, but his knee's fucked. So like I said, I'll do one or two little small sprinkle bets, but I'm gonna stay away from this fight pretty much. But I'll take Justin. You got, excuse me, Fiziev. Excuse me. So, bro, we're 0 for 2 right off the bat. We're switching sides right away. I love it. Um, and both fights, I gotta point out the main event and co-main event. You gotta love when both fights are lined very, very close to each other. I didn't even say the lines there. It's Justin Gaethje opened up as a plus 105, and Fiziev was a minus 130 slight favorite. I think it's ballooned up to like a minus 160 now. Fiziev is so more money's coming in on Fiziev. I just hear me out too. Justin Gaethje was he was preparing for a 5-round war with Dan Hooker. I think Justin had a way harder fight against Dan Hooker for 5 rounds than Rafael Fiziev with 3. I think Justin's like, I beat this, I beat this guy already once. I got him for 3 rounds. I had Dan Hooker for 5. Yeah, I got this. Like, hold my beer. Wait, and he's gonna go in there fucking swinging. Like, he's gonna try to put him out. So I love it, man. I love a Justin Gaethje fight night. So great 2 fights, close line fights. I love it. Okay, moving on to the next one. We got Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I'll let you take this one, Dill, if you want, unless you want me to.
I can go for it. It's another great fight lined up. I like Ignacio on this one actually. I know he's kind of underdog.
There you
Jalen Turner's
go.
just a freak of nature in there, but I'm gonna go with Ignacio. I feel like he's just on a tear right now. Got the win against Torres, got the win against Gigos, which was a great fight. And just yeah, I'm gonna go with Ignacio.
All right, dude. I think we can agree on that one. I'm going Ignacio Bahamondes all day long, bro. I think Ignacio Bahamondes cooks this guy. Like the fact that Hanato Moicano got dropped, pretty much knocked out. Jalen's fight IQ to not jump on him and finish the fight. And then the start of the
Yeah.
next round, he gets mauled with elbows and he gets knocked out. Um, I think Ignacio Bahamondes runs through Moicano. I know MMA math doesn't add up, but I think Ignacio smokes Jalen Turner, dude. And Jalen Turner, people don't realize this. Jalen Turner's professional record is 14-8. Like that's terrible, dude. That's really close to 14-10. Like it's just a bad record. Um, I know he knocked out Bobby Green, and that was brutal. But Bobby Green's about to get knocked out this weekend too. So Bobby Green's like 38 years old. I think Ignacio is going to be a future title contender at 155. I mean, he's 6'3", and just like you said,
Mhm.
bro, what he did to Manuel Torres, I had Manuel Torres against him. I bet like a unit, just a unit fresh on Manuel. He's like a plus 140 underdog, and Ignacio nuked him. I think in the first round. Um, and then that really put me, really put it on the map. Like, damn, dude, that was really impressive. So, all right, we can keep it short and quick. I'm gonna be throwing out later in the week on Friday or something. Do some little long shot, quick reels on YouTube where I'm talking about long shots. Um, I got Ignacio Bahamondes. I think he's gonna finish in the second round, if not the first. I think Jalen's tough enough to survive the first, but I think he gets finished in the second. So I'm glad we're on the same side there. Moving on to the fourth fight. You got a woman's Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucendo. And I'm going to keep this one quick too. I think the slight underdog, way more experienced, well rounded Amanda Lemos honestly probably puts Lucendo out cold, or I think she's just going to beat the shit out of her for 3 rounds. And I'm going to make a statement here too. I usually do not bet women's MMA because I'm not good at it. I really am not. But I have a feeling Amanda Lemos is a very good underdog play this weekend. Give me Amanda Lemos plus money.
Mm, all right, like it. I'm actually gonna go with the youngster. She's like 14 years younger, I believe. Eisman, so I'm gonna go with her. I think she just has a little bit more output as well. She's lands a few more strikes. Her ground game, she's a little more aggressive for her takedowns. So yeah, give me the youngie.
For sure. I just like to point out, too, when I say Amanda, it's just, she is 37, but a year and a half ago she fought for the title against Weili Zhang. Yeah, she got beat up, but every time you lose in that octagon, you usually learn something. And if you don't, you're usually cut in the UFC. So Amanda Lemos is still there. I know it's the women's division, but I think she has something to prove. I think she's going to beat these little, I wouldn't say lower level talent, but youngsters coming through. Hey man, it's the year of the undefeated usually lose. So I know Sendo's not undefeated, but she's that up and comer. So we can keep that short and that sweet. That's fine. I don't have a whole lot of study on that. Just so we are 1-3 against each other right now. We're both with Ignacio and then against each other so far. So I like it. Um, and then this fight
Don't
just
fade the female Brazilians with the neck tattoos, man. I'm telling you, don't fade.
you are right there. I mean, you are right there. Both these girls are Brazilian. One's got a neck tat. The other one's just got tats all over her arms. I just hear me out, dude. I don't know if you're gonna be coming over to watch the fights at my house. You're more than welcome to. But wherever you are, and we're texting about it. If don't be mad at me when Amanda Lemos is on the outside, just hitting her with that jab, throwing those leg kicks. I just I don't know why I see it happening, but that's it. Um, moving on to the next fight, you got Bobby Green. I refuse to call him the name that he switched it to. He's a douchebag for that. So Bobby Green taking on Mauricio Ruffy. And I'll keep this one short and quick, dude. You know when you see like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, when you see a fight, uh, Absul Malik, you know the one I'm talking about, Dana White's Contender Series. Malik Abdullah, he was a plus, or excuse me, minus 1,200 favorite against Nick Klein. And you go like, who's this? Like, how is he lying that much? Like, that's bullshit. This is a fight. If Ruffy was a minus 1,000 favorite, I'd throw him in there, dude. You got, first of all, a 10-year gap age difference. Um, Ruffy is just that guy, dude. He
Mhm.
really is. I mean, Dana White's Contender Series smokes the guy in the first round, knocks out Jamie Malarkey, and then 3 months ago, James Longtop, who is just an iron chin. No one really puts that guy out ever. Beats the crap out of him for 3 rounds and hit him with a lot of stuff. Most people would go night night. I think Bobby King Green gets knocked out again. He got knocked out by Jalen Turner brutal a year ago, and then beat the shit out of Jim Miller, and then got put out cold 7 months ago against Paddy Pimblett, like out cold, not breathing, almost got his arm snapped while he was choked with the arm triangle around his neck. You can't do that at 38 at 155 and expect to be some world beater. He's going to be an inch shorter. He's going to have a 4-inch reach disadvantage, 10 years in age. Hear me now, Mauricio Ruffy by prop bet, knockouts round 2. I'm going to give Bobby Green's got decent foot headwork, movement, everything like that. He's cocky, keeps his hands low. I think he's going to get touched up at the end of the first round pretty bad. And then second round comes out rough. He's going to have confidence. He's going to put him out cold. T-Mobile Arena goes nuts. Bobby Green is on a highlight reel knockout on ESPN. So give me, I think Ruffy is a really good prop bet coming into Saturday. Like I said, I'll talk way more about that on like Friday or something, laying out all my prop bets. So what do you got, bro?
I completely agree with you. I mean, we know how hot the fighting nerds are right now, and this guy's kind of leading the pack, and he's a minus 470, so I mean, you can't really put him in with everything solid on that. I like the under 2.5 at minus 135, but do we really want to be sweating it out? But like you said, I think it's definitely gonna be KO round 1, round 2. I don't think this one's going to the cards.
Yeah.
Ruffy's gonna put him out, and it might put him out pretty bad. And then will this be the end of King Green? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they'll give Bobby. I hate that stupid King reference. What a douche. I think they
It just
give
feels
Bobby.
like you mentioned it too. As soon as you turn 38 years old, like the knockout percentage goes up so bad.
Oh yeah, bro. And not to mention a year ago he got brutally KO'd by Jalen Turner, right?
Yeah.
If Jalen Turner and Ruffy fought right now, I think Ruffy puts out Jalen Turner. But Ignacio Bahamondes gets to do that earlier in the night. Um, I just think, where is Bobby Green gonna beat this guy? Like, is he gonna take him down? Highly doubt it. You gonna, excuse me, stand with this guy and outbox him? Highly doubt it. Like, I just, some of these fights, these huge favorites, they scream, like it's gonna shit in your apple pie type of fight. Where uh, Malik, when he was minus 1200 or minus 1200, and he almost got knocked out cold in the first round. I don't know if you watched that fight. Nick Klein had him stumbling. Those fights that you can see from a mile away, you're like, this guy's good. He's probably gonna be good in the UFC, but I can't bet him at minus 1200 favorite. Mauricio Ruffy, I think you can bet him at a minus 1,000 favorite. Obviously, I wouldn't hit the money line, but props all day, dude. I am betting Ruffy in my prop bet for sure.
This is like the one you said when you start setting up the 2-3 leg parlays. Like you can put this one in there pretty securely. Mix it up on a few different couple ones, and that'll be a pretty good like you can't get mad at losing that.
Nope, I totally agree, dude. All right, we got 7 more fights left, so we'll cruise through these. Not cruise through them, but we're at a good pace. I'm surprised this fight wasn't to start the main card. I would have put Ruffy under this, featured prelim. But anyway, they just disrespect him all the time. Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. And Curtis Blades got knocked out by Tom Aspinall 7 months ago. Um, a year and 10 months ago, he got, it's almost 2 years ago, he got knocked out bad by Sergey Pavlovich. Um, and now they're giving him this Rizvan Kuniev. And if you're not familiar with Rizvan Kuniev, he fought Hanan Pereira, the big 6'8" boxer that our boy Francis Ngannou just knocked out cold in the PFL. And he worked him for 3 rounds. This guy's from Dagestan, Russia. Before I go too far past that fight with Ferreira, he beat him for 3 rounds, and then like a few months later, it got overturned because he popped for like every steroid in the book, like every steroid you can get in Russia. I think that guy was on it. And then he fights a few more fights, knocking people out, submitting them everywhere he goes. And the UFC is like, sweet, dude, we'll give you a shot. You used to do steroids, that's fine. Come on in. But we're gonna give you Curtis Blades. for your UFC debut. Like, what the fuck? Curtis Blades, dude? Curtis Blades is a number 5 or 4 ranked heavyweight in the UFC who's fought like Francis Ngannou twice, Derek Lewis, Tom Aspinall twice. Like, this guy's fighting the great guys. But here's the thing about Curtis Blades, and you were also at my house the night that I had him knocking out Jailton Almeida, which happened. I remember that in my garage. Um, there's things about Curtis Blades, like I feel confident betting him when I feel confident about the fight. And this isn't a fight I feel very confident about. And Curtis Blades is like a minus, what is he, a minus 300 some favorite? Minus three,
330.
minus 330, bro. Like, Curtis Blades' chin is like almost gone. I know 34 years old in the heavyweight division is not old, but uh, it makes me worried about it. Like, his chin, he's been knocked out twice bad in the last 2 years. And then this Kunev guy hasn't been finished in a long time, and he's coming from PFL and everything where he was popped for steroids, and now they don't have USADA. So I certainly wouldn't bet Blades at this fight at the money line. In fact, I'm going to take the underdog just because it's heavyweight. They're so volatile and violent that it only takes a few of these right in the right spot, and we've seen Blades get knocked out very bad before, multiple times. The only thing I'm worried about is Blades' wrestling defense is so well. He's a great wrestler, and Kunev, I mean, he's a great wrestler too. And me and McLean watched him on Contender Series. He wrestled, clinched the guy for a long time, broke from the clinch, and knocked the guy out cold on the Contender Series. And I looked at McLean, I was like, that guy's gonna be something in the UFC. Like, he's pretty good. And then his first fight is Curtis Blades. Like, they must think that, dude. When is that? When have we ever seen that though? Like, Curtis Blades. I mean, the only time I can remember in history is that Asakura, who came from Asia and just fought Ella Pantoja for the flyweight title. That's the last time I can remember someone getting that close of a shot. So UFC knows what they're doing. They've never really cared to market Blades that much. Let's be honest. They don't. Unfortunately, he's got a speech impediment, and they don't want to. I like Curtis Blades. I bet him a lot. I really do like him. He's a great fucking fighter. The dude's huge. He's tough. He's good everywhere. He's got better hands than people think. I just think this Russian's gonna be. He hits like a Mack truck. He's quick for a heavyweight. I think he's gonna grind him up against the cage for a while. And this is another one. I'm gonna sneak a little $30, $40 bet. Ruffy. This guy, Ruffy and Kunev by KO with someone that like Ignacio Bahamondes. Like, those are the three I really seek after on this card. You got Ignacio, Ruffy, and Kunev. Kunev, I don't think they give us they don't we don't have knockout props yet, but Kunev first round plus 1100. Kunev second round plus 1600. Kunev round 3 plus 2500. Those are huge. I mean, I don't see it going to round 3 personally, but round 2, I just think that's a really good prop. So give me the underdog. I know he's a pretty big underdog here, but I'm gonna go with Rizvan Kunev making his UFC debut against Blades, bro. How about you?
All right, I like it. Yeah, you're a little more confident than I am. I think I would just stick to like the under 2.5, a little more violence because whoever can finish it and either or maybe a little safer play. But I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I'm a big fan of Blades as well. Like I think the UFC's kind of screwed him. They haven't quite given him his flowers that he quite deserves. He's been kind of the gateway keeper a little bit here. He's kind of moved down to that position. I'm gonna stick with Blades. I like him. I'm still not a whole bunch confident in this Kunyev yet. Like I feel like he still has to kind of prove himself a bit. And the steroid use, I think, is just going to catch up with him after a while. I mean, I know he's still younger or on the younger side, but I might just stay away from this one. I think, or like I said, just
Yeah.
take the under. I think I'd rather do like like you're saying, Bahamundes and Rafe, and then maybe the one on this like next card, like Joshua Van or something,
Yeah.
or maybe Petrosian. But I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with Blades.
Yeah, dude. I like it. And like I just want to touch on before we started, or right when we started, I'm not making any bets that I'm not confident in. Like, if a fight is dicey like this one, like I said, I might throw him in one or two small little things because it's heavyweight, dude. Anyone can knock anyone out cold. So minus 330 favorite. If you're not Tom Aspinall, I'm not betting a minus 330 favorite for you. And I'm like you said, I'm just gonna kind of stick away from this one for a little bit. It's too dicey. So it's gonna be a great fight though. I love a heavyweight fight like that. So moving on to the next one. This one is the trickiest one of all for me. And I told you this. You got Ray Cerulia versus Josh Van. And man, both these guys I think are going to make a splash in the flyweight division. I really think the flyweight division is making a comeback. Like, you got some talent in the flyweight division right now. Ray Cerulia out of Japan, 22 years old, phenomenal grappler. Um, plus 160 slight underdog. Josh Van, 23 years old. Um, I don't know, man. He's fighting out of Houston, Texas. Plus 190 slight favorite, and he got knocked out in the third round against Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson, here's the thing: Charles Johnson doesn't really knock out anybody. And when Josh Van got knocked out in the third round, it gave me a little hesitation. Like, that's where there is a trouble there. But what did he do? 2 months after that, he got right back on the horse, came in and fought Edgar Chairez, beat the brakes off of him. And then 3 months after that, he fought Cody Durden, which Cody Durden is a good fighter. And he beat the brakes out of Cody Durden. And then now here we are a few months later. Now he's fighting an undefeated Cerulia, who's a phenomenal grappler. And he's just constantly fighting and getting better. So I'm excited as hell to watch this fight. Like I told you, I had trouble picking a side because we got the classic grappler versus striker, and I think Josh Van has good takedown defense. People think if Cerulia gets one takedown, it's over and he's going to submit him. I think it's just going to be a scrambling battle, constantly back up to the feet, boxing. Cerulia gets in on the clinch, holds him on the fence, hip tosses him. They get back up. I just think it's going to be an awesome fight for 3 rounds. But my question is, whoever has slightly better cardio is going to win this fight. And one thing about Josh Van, he always, not always, he usually gives away the first round. He's kind of a slow starter. He's like Marlon Cheeto Vera or Cowboy Cerrone. Usually gives away the first round. So the third round comes, Josh Van I favor a lot. This one's tough, dude. I really don't know what side to go because people also aren't giving Cerulia his flowers. I think he's a great grappler, but then there again, they gave him Carlos Hernandez, and he beat him the first and second round, and then he got beat up the whole third round. Kind of looked like he was a little tired, and he got out grappled by Carlos Hernandez. This one's tough, dude. I think I'm gonna take Josh Van. He was like a minus 200 favorite, and now he's a minus 180 favorite. So some money's coming in on the Japanese, undefeated Japanese. Last thing I'll say, like I said before, this is the year of the undefeateds getting their first loss. Uh, will it be an ongoing trend? I don't know. He's gonna have a 3-inch reach advantage on Josh Van. He's gonna be slightly bigger. Um, Yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think Josh Van has also fought tougher competition since he's entered the UFC, learned a lesson against Charles Johnson. So give me Josh Van, bro.
I like it. We're on the same page on this one. Yeah, like you said, you touched on two things that I was going to touch on. Is just how they kind of start. Like Rhea kind of comes out really fast and aggressive, and we don't know what he's really like in the third. Because he's only been brought once in there by Hernandez. So I mean, it's we'll see. But I'm gonna go with Van as well. I think the Charles Johnson, which is kind of a fluke. I mean, Charles Johnson, he just lost last week, and I honestly thought he kind of won that fight, but I don't know, went the other way, I guess. And I just I don't know. I think Van, like we said, he downloads a lot in the first round, and then he picks up pace in the second and third. I think he'll get the win by split. Would split be a sneaky pick to make? I'm not sure, but maybe just
Yeah.
money line Van. But because yeah, like you said, he gives away the first round.
Yeah,
So
usually.
Van
And
might
that's what
be the
worries me, bro. I'm glad you said that. I'm sorry to take your time here. I just want to say quick that that's I totally agree with the first round he usually gives up and not a round you want to give up to a grappler. Like the guy's strong, they're dry, so sinking in a submission like a tight grip like Josh Van might get like submitted in the first round. I know it sounds really crazy, but if this Cerulia guy is on his back with like 3 minutes to go in the first round, it's not going to be pretty for us people that got Van bets in their parlays because until Joshua Van, you know, that might be another really good scenario if you want to live bet Josh Van. He might drop the first and second round
absolutely.
and then turn it
That's a
up
really
like a
good.
Christian Rodriguez versus Isaac Dalgarian fight where Christian Rodriguez beats the brakes off of him in the third round. Didn't give him a second to breathe. Like that would be cool. So I'm just really excited for this fight. Two 23-year-old kids fighting hard. One's undefeated. One fights like he's undefeated. I'm excited for this one, man. One last thing I'll say, and then we can move on, unless you want to touch on it. But Josh Van, I think Josh Van's stand up like kickboxing, boxing is better than Tetsuro's grappling. If that makes sense. Like I think Josh Van will be able to get up from a few of these takedowns, and then later on he'll start stuffing takedowns, and then you're forced to box with Josh Van where he's comfortable, and Ray Tesoro has no business being in boxing range. I think he's gonna get pieced up. Josh Van might get a finish actually, so that's all I gotta say.
Josh Van does have an 80% takedown defense, so we'll see if he
Yeah,
can hold up over time. Like you said, you
and
just got to keep that distance, try to learn some things in the first round, and yeah, maybe the kickboxing will keep Taisura at bay for long enough.
yeah, dude, I couldn't agree more. Um, all right, cool. We're finally agree on a fight again together. So,
But yeah, they're
um,
both so young. I think they'll end up seeing each other again eventually.
yeah, I like it. Then you got like Tetsuro Taira in this division too, who's undefeated, got humbled by Brandon Royval. Like I'm loving the flyweight division now. Last thing I'll say, and then we'll move on. Josh Van, round three, plus 1400. I like it. Um, all right, moving on. One of my favorite fights in this on this card too. We got Bruno Ferreira versus Armin Petrosian, and I'm gonna go out there and say right away, I think Bruno Ferreira wins this fight. He's a slight underdog. He got submitted by Abus Magomedov. Magomedov is way bigger than him, and he was holding his own. Armin Petrosian isn't much of a wrestler. He's more of a striker, volume guy. And he has a few surprising wins, like Christian Leroy Duncan. Um, I just think Bruno Ferreira's power is going to be a problem for Armin Petrosian in this fight. And Armin Petrosian just got he made history, and not in a good way. He got double he got double spinning back fist in the face, knocked out cold by a guy with one eye who retired from MMA. So um, I'm gonna take the Hulk, Bruno Ferreira. It's not gonna be a super confident bet, but I think his power is much more significant to Armin Petrosian's. And he's on a 2 fight skid. Bruno's on a 1 fight skid, and they both need a win here. So yeah, man, I'm gonna take Bruno Ferreira.
I like it. Tapology's got him winning by knockout hugely, and
I saw that.
overall just percentage wise. And even though he's still kind of the underdog, so it'll be interesting to see when those prop bet drops where they're at. Yeah, not confident over here either. I would stick with maybe the violence doesn't see the scorecards, or maybe Petrusian gets it done because I feel like Petrusian is really good. Like I felt like he was beating Shara in that fight up until that point. I mean,
He
well, I
was.
say that point, but up until like that round. Where you say?
I agree with you. He was beating him.
Yeah, so I mean, he's really good on the feet. I mean, he's got a lot of aggression, a lot of volume. So I'm gonna go with Petrosian, but not confident.
All right, bro. We're splitting far away from each other. I hate it. It's like the Titanic. I'm Jack and you're Rose. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, fuck, dude. No, that's
Oh,
gonna
Lord, there's not enough room for you.
that's gonna be a good fight. I think it really is gonna be a
Oh yeah,
good fight.
oh
Both
yeah.
guys don't have like a ton of experience, but I think it's gonna be a great fight. Both of them have power. One of them has more power. The other one's a better volume puncher. So not one I'm gonna invest in too much. And then next fight, I think we can probably be on the same side. Keep it short and quick. I think Carlos Leal is gonna beat him. When I watched him take on Renat Fakhretdinov on short notice and beat him decisively in Abu Dhabi, and then they gave the fucking win to Renat Fakhretdinov. I was like, what kind of bullshit is that? He was like a plus 300 underdog, and I had him in a few bets. Like Carlos Leal is tough. Pretty sure he's steroided up, and the UFC does not care. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I don't. I think Alex Morono is out the door. He's not that good anymore. Never really was. Give me Carlos Leal.
Agree. Just simple agree. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, moving on to the next one. I didn't I know Francis Marshall and this Myron Santos guy coming in on Contender Series. Like I don't know, man. I don't invest too much in on this. Like I've picked a lot of fights and fights I'm focusing on for this card. But if I have to make a pick, I guess I'll take this Santos guy. But he's there again. He's untested, right? Like he fought a lot in the LFA. Not even a lot. He fought twice, but he had 5 fights in the LFA scheduled. He got beat up by Dan Argueta in the LFA. He got submitted in a grappling match. Like he's been knocked out before, but came back 2 on his feet and won that fight. Um, the people he's fighting, the competition is not that good. And then he's been on the Ultimate Fighter twice. And both times he's been on the show, he had a split decision victory and a unanimous decision victory. I just don't think the UFC really cares for him too much. This is the fight where I could see him losing too, but for the sake of the show, I will not be touching this with a 10-foot pole, but I will pick Santos.
Yeah, I don't know too much about either one of these guys. I know that Marlon fought Con Olfley, and it just wasn't a really good look. Like Con Olfley didn't give him anything, didn't test him, didn't didn't bring him to deep waters at all. So I think I don't know. It's tough to say if like Marlon has more to offer or more to give. I mean, I don't know, and it makes me kind of want to go with Marshall maybe, just because he's an underdog, but it's not really. I don't know, 290, is that what he's listed at? So that might be, yeah. I think I'd take him as an underdog then at that price tag, 260, 260, 290. Yeah, I'll take Marshall. Give me that dogger pass.
All right, all right, I like it, and it's not a bad that's not a bad underdog to pick because this Santos guy is like unproven and kind of reminds me of like Kuniv on the against Curtis Blades, like different reasons, but Curtis Blades is proven. I just it's one of those same fights. So all right, dude, we'll move on to the next fight. We got 2 more fights and we'll wrap it up. We got John Castaneda taking on Chris Gutierrez, and John Castaneda was supposed to fight last weekend against John Silva Andrade, who's 40 and looked terrible and couldn't fight because of his weight issues. So you got John Castaneda. Let me throw this out there for you. He's fighting out of Minnesota. Um, he's liked a few of my shit on Instagram before, believe it or not, which is pretty cool. Um, the only thing I'm a little worried about, the only thing I'm a little worried about is he just weight cutted. He already had a weight cut against Andrade, and then doesn't fight, dude. And then now he has to weight cut again. Yeah, they give him a catch weight, but then you have to cut weight a second time, and now it's against a whole different opponent who's better, younger, more powerful. Chris Gutierrez leg kicks the shit out of you, fighting out of Factory X, like in Colorado, trains at elevation. Like it's just a tough fight all around, dude. Like he was a huge favorite, fighting a 30 or 40-year-old Andrade Silva, and now it's a pick'em, and now he's a slight underdog at this point, going against Chris Gutierrez. I think it's tough though, dude. Like Chris Gutierrez just jabs you, leg kicks, hook. Like he's constantly walking away from you, and then he counters on you, constantly walking away from you, counters at you. So he's hard to put like hard-earned money on. But John Castaneda, unfortunately, isn't a guy I've like backed fully. Um, yeah, he fought Daniel Marcos, who's undefeated, and it's probably going to be something later on. Um, Submitted Miles Johns 3 years ago. I don't think he's like amazing, but he does crash the pocket, and he's in your face to fight. So if Chris Gutierrez gets that distance early and often and leg kicks the shit out of him a lot, he's probably gonna win the fight. I might throw one like 7 leg $5 parlay and throw Chris Gutierrez in on this, but I'm not gonna bet this fight really at all. And I'm probably gonna go against the guy that has to weight cut twice, whole new opponent. Now you're in front of a crowd when you're supposed to be in Apex, all this shit. So I'm gonna take El Guapo.
Nice. Yeah, not confident with this one either. Um, the double weight cut's got to be really tough to come back from. John Castanet, uh, Castaneda, Sexy Mexi. I mean, Minnesota guy, I do like him. The interesting thing here though is that he also trains with that Quang Lee, and Chris Gutierrez just fought Quang Lee, and they got a whole bunch of tape on him. So I mean, it went to the decision. So with Quang hanging out with John and them getting some training in here, I think that might actually kind of play to his favor. So it's not like as short or small of a distance as you think. I think he's done his research on him, and so I think it's gonna be a closer fight than I don't know. I think we all think it's gonna be a close fight anyways, but I'm gonna go with Castaneda just because he's kind of from Minnesota. But the double weight cut thing, man, that's just a red flag. So not confident at all. I'll stay away.
Yeah, no, I like that call out about him training with Quayle or whatever. So that's a good one. And they got a lot of tape on him. They're gonna make it adjustments, but like we just said, man, enough people aren't talking about the double weight cut. That's got to be a toll on your body.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard to
You'd hope
focus on
you'd hope they
fighting.
did watch a lot of tape, but I don't know. I mean, they know what they're doing. They're the fighters, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah,
It'll be
dude.
entertaining.
Yeah. Um. So our last fight of the night. So the first fight of the night, but we went in most entertaining to most boring. I don't think any fight's boring. I love them all. I love watching this. This is the shit I live for. So you got Ozzy Diaz versus DeJordan Santos, and I don't. I'm kind of torn on this one, to be honest. Like I saw Ozzy Diaz fight on the Contender Series. Like, apparently he wasn't on. Yeah, he was 2 years ago. No way. I'm thinking of someone else then. Never mind. Totally thought of somebody else. Um, Ozzy Diaz got knocked out by Joe Pyfer 2 years and 7 months ago on the Contender Series. I I guess I don't know what the hell this guy is. He's 34 years old and 9-3, fighting Santos, who's 27, 10-1. Um, and this I remember this Santos guy fought Will Curry. Will Curry is this big muscle back dude, and this Santos guy beat the crap out of him for 3 rounds. Got a contract, and now he's making his UFC debut. And I will just sit back and watch this fight. I am not betting it, but for the show, I'll pick Santos. Unclimactic ending, but that's the truth. I'm not going to bet it. I think Diaz is super chinny, so give me Santos.
Yeah, same. I mean, just enjoy it. It's kind of the first one to be kicking the night off. Diaz used to be, I think, at a light heavyweight, so maybe that's why the name's not super familiar for you. And so now he's dropping down, I think, to 185. So we'll see if the power comes down with him. But I think Santos might just be in better shape, better condition, and maybe a little bit more intelligent there in the ring. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Might have some more ring smarts, but yeah, I will go with Santos as well. I feel like they're kind of trying to prime him up and get him going. So we'll see what goes. And he's what, 7 years younger. So yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that's our card. I want to say a few things, and then we'll go. Um, last Sunday, so Sunday morning, I made a parlay because I won big, 16 units Saturday night. So Sunday morning, I was having the coffee, playing games with the baby on the ground, and I really liked this 3-leg money line strictly parlay I made. Hear me out. So before I took some money out, I still had money in there, so $111. Don't ask why I did the 111. 3-leg Ignacio Baja Mendez minus 110, minus 115. Sorry. Bruno Ferreira plus 127, and Rizvan Kunev plus 255 to return 15 units. So 1.1 unit bet to return 15 units. Not a bad, I just need 3 things to happen, or 2 things, and then, Bruno Ferreira and Rizvan Kunev. If Rizvan Kunev pulls through and all I need left is Ignacio Baja Mendez money line, I'm feeling real fucking confident, dude. Really confident. And then the last one I want to talk about that I threw in that I really liked too. Where are we here? Oh,
Real quick with
5.
Bruno, there's been like a 7 point line change on Bruno, and then Kunyev's has like a 10 point line, so it's probably still pretty even. So it's when you placed the bet till today.
Yeah, that's good, I guess, for me. Um, I also did this one today. Uh, $5. Okay, hear this out. $5. What's $5? You can buy a pop and a candy bar, and there's $5. Magomed Ankalaev by TKO KO in rounds 3, 4, or 5, plus 850. Joshua Van round 3, plus 1400, and then Bruno Ferreira round 1, plus 425. $5 returns 3,800.
Nice bet.
Bro, $5. Like, I don't know. You just, if throwing a dart at a dartboard, see if it sticks. If that hits, looking really good. Um, but that's something I'd have to imagine if Bruno Ferreira sparks him in the round 1, Josh Van knocks him out in a chaotic round 3 hard fought fight, and then I'm going into the main event needing Magomed Ankalaev to knock out Pereira in rounds 3, 4, or 5. Like, dude, if I hit that, that'd be nuts. I'd have to get on Maddie Betts' show like the next day and talk about it. Which, by the way, I'm gonna figure out they do their long shots, like call in. I'm gonna call in and throw a few down, and then somehow try to get like in talks with them to break down a fight or two, like together in the future, because they do that once in a while. Where
Cool.
me and you can go on Discord and meet up with him and whoever, and just talk a few fights. I think that'd be fun. So yeah, dude, I got 2 of those bet right now. 2 parlays. One's $5 and the other one's 1.1 unit. So nothing too crazy, but I'm waiting for, well, tomorrow and Friday, so all those props come out. I'll hit a few 2, 3 leg prop bets, and then a few like 4 or 5 leg money lines. Well, dude, I'm glad you. Thanks for getting on with us and doing this. This is always fun. I want to do it every weekend. Some weekends are really busy, but we'll try to keep doing it.
Absolutely, no problem, man. Appreciate it.
Are we done recording, Clint? Not really. Thanks for coming, I guess. I don't know. I doubt anyone